Speaking at a televised interview, commander of the Iranian Navy Rear Admiral Hossein Khanzadi highlighted the advances in defense industries, pointing to the development of JASC-2 submarine-launched missile. The commander noted that JASC-2 has a longer range than its previous models. Missiles fired from the surface could be diverted by the enemy, but JASC-2 is launched by a submarine that travels where the enemy does not expect at all, he added. Rear Admiral Khanzadi also noted that the naval missile can be fired from Fatah submarine, a homegrown watercraft with advanced sonar system. The Iranian Navy successfully fired a submarine-launched cruise missile during a massive military exercise in the Sea of Oman and parts of the Indian Ocean. The drill zone covered an area of 2 million square kilometers in eastern parts of the Strait of Hormuz, Makran Coast, Sea of Oman, and northern parts of the Indian Ocean, down to the 10 degrees latitude. JASC-2 is variant of derivative of the existing Nasr 1 anti-ship cruise missile and has a different range, according to Khanzadi. The Nasr 1 is itself a copy of the Chinese C-704, which can hit targets out to around 20 miles. We also don't know how mature the JASC-2 design is. The video shows a Ghadar class firing a JASC-2 while apparently running on the surface, while other clips show the submarine semi-submerged. The video footage seemed to suggest that Iran had only fired one JASC-2 during the exercise, but it may have launched additional missiles. Joseph Dempsey, research associate for defense and military analysis at the UK-based think tank the International Institute for Strategic Studies, noted on social media that the background features in different clips within the video montage indicated Iranian submarines fired at least 2 of the missiles. Iran has been working on a submarine-launched cruise missile capability for some time. In 2017, there were reports that the Iranian Navy had tried and failed to launch a JASC-2. 2 years earlier, Iran released footage that it claimed was of a submarine firing a cruise missile. It's not clear if the weapon in that case was the JASC-2 or a separate, earlier design. The JASC-2 is a small Nasr anti-ship missile encased in a torpedo, complete with propulsive motor. This appears to be intended to allow it to swim out of a submarine's torpedo tube in a way that conventional unpowered submarine-launched missiles cannot. This is possible because the missile is so much smaller than weapons like encased and harpoon. Lightweight, and by implication less negative buoyancy, may also help small midget submarines carry the system. The first scene appears to show the readying of the torpedo tube. The red button likely shoots the port, left, torpedo tube, and the green starboard, right. This scene is confirmed to be aboard a Ghadar-class midget submarine by cross-referencing with previously published footage taken aboard the class. After briefly showing the video periscope display pointing at the sky, the footage switches to show a Ghadar midget submarine running awash with only parts of its deck and sail above water. The class of submarine is clearly identifiable as a Ghadar. The object appears to be a torpedo, but is in fact the JASC-2 capsule. The weapon takes 7 seconds to exit the submarine, which is traveling forward at less than 10 knots. The missile is thought to be a variant of the relatively small Nasr 1 weapon, itself a locally produced Chinese C-704 anti-ship cruise missile. On the other hand, Iran also test-fired their Hoot supercavitating torpedo several times. The Hoot is said to have a range of 6 miles. The missile test occurred in the busy Strait of Hormuz. A Federation of American Scientists report quoted an Iranian Naval Forces official saying the Hoot is capable of destroying the largest warships and any other vessel on the surface or beneath the water and split it into two parts. Although many sources claim that Hoot is an Iranian design, analysts are confident that it is in fact the Russian Va-111 Shkval. The Russian name means squall. Despite being in service for over 40 years, it is still making a buzz. Shkval supercavitating torpedo can travel at 360 km per hour or about 230 miles per hour. Shkval uses supercavitation, meaning that it generates a bubble of gas from the nose and then flies within it. This reduces friction, which allows it to travel about 3 times faster than a regular torpedo. The trade-off is agility, because it cannot turn sharply in case it finds itself outside the gas bubble. So it is regarded as a defensive weapon in a sub-against-sub duel. Even if the other sub launches first, it can win the race and deliver a killer blow. It is unclear whether it is in service with Iran, however. We know that they acquired some 15 years ago. Credible documentary evidence shared by the Federation of American Scientists shows that Iran tested the Shkval in the Gulf of Oman in 2004. But it has not been confirmed aboard Iranian submarines. The natural launch platform would be Iran's 3 Russian-built Kilo-class submarines. But those would need extensive modifications. And they are operated by the Iranian Navy, and the Hoot documents were on Revolutionary Guard, IRGC, letterheads and displayed examples were also by IRGC. That's a separate part of Iran's military with separate procurement plans. The IRCG operates much smaller midget submarines, and that is a problem. Like most missiles, Hoot is much heavier than a regular torpedo thanks to its solid fuel rocket motor. This means that Iran's sizable fleet of midget submarines would not be able to carry it. It's telling that the JAS-2 anti-ship missile which they can carry is very small, much smaller and lighter than the Harpoon, for example. Iran could use it from a torpedo boat. But why not just use a missile? So the Hoot remains enigmatic. But on balance, it feels like mostly hot bubbles, and Western navies are unlikely to face it in any conflict with Iran.